All right, good evening, everyone. So, I just wanted to do kind of a quick update on what's going on with Amendment 3 that's going to be on the ballot in November, and also Ron Hicks's bill, which was HB 2704, and now it has been called it's House Bill 2. So, in essence, what's going on here is Ron Hicks refiled his bill and kind of declared it as an emergency type of filing. Now, the main reason he's doing this is because what he's trying to do is he's trying to get enough support from some co-sponsors and the like, and get enough people calling the governor and asking to have this brought in on the special session. Now, I'm going to tell you this. It is a long shot because the governor is only interested in the agricultural tax credits and the tax cuts, the tax cut on income tax, which is going to automatically hit next year. So in order to, look a little better to the public and all that, he is, introduced this we call the special session. He's looking at tax cuts and the agricultural tax credits. Okay. But Ron Hicks, again, has reintroduced HB 2704 as HB2, House Bill 2. And he did it, again, as a kind of a emergency type thing. And I understand what he's doing. What he's trying to do is he's hoping to get enough pressure on the governor's office, on the legislature, to pass recreational marijuana here in the state to avoid Amendment 3 possibly passing in November. The other thing is, hello, Voodoo Queen, how are you? This isn't going to be very long, guys, so I just kind of an update. I keep seeing stories on it. There are more and more groups coming out against Amendment 3. So I leave it to you. Christine Thompson, who I had on my show a few months back, is dealing with some health issues, okay? She needs our help. She needs our help on educating the public on Amendment 3 and why it's bad. But they're also looking for support for Ron Hicks's bill. Okay. Now, the Missouri Freedom Initiative and myself and some others are pushing to get rid of the sales tax on groceries here in the state of Missouri during the special session. And we've garnered a lot of interest in Jeff City for this. Now, we have Lincoln Huff. His office is not playing ball. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want nothing to do with it. They're strictly going to go and do whatever the governor wants. But we have the opportunity to remove sales tax from groceries. I don't want to take away from the sales tax on groceries. But I do think that we also need to keep people aware that Ron Hicks's bill has been resubmitted, and that we need to keep people educated on why we should vote no on Amendment 3. So if you go online, let me put it in the chat here. Let me actually grab the actual website so I don't get the website wrong. Okay. So let me just copy and paste this into the chat. And so it's basically no on A3. There is a flyer there that you can download. It should be. Let me see if I can find it because it's supposed to be here. So there is a fact sheet. And there's a P. If you click up at near the top, you'll see a read the fact sheet about Amendment 3 here. It's in the upper right hand corner of the page. There, when you click on that, it'll take you to another page, and then you can download a PDF copy of that flyer to print out. And that's what I'm asking you to do because, again, I don't believe that we can count on this being done during the special session. I could be wrong. But I know that Christine Thompson is asking people to back Ron Hicks's bill plus educating people on Amendment 3. And again, Christine is having some health issues right now she's having to deal with. So she's not her normal energetic self. She did do a live stream last night. And she is looking for people to sound the alarm on Amendment 3 and also the Cannabis Freedom Act from Ron Hicks. And so I just wanted to remind everybody, take a look. Again, the hello, Gary. The web address is there in the chat. You can click on that. You can find the PDF flyer that you can print out. Here's what I'm going to ask folks to do. And this was advice given to me by Epan Thampy, who I had on a few weeks ago. Okay? And he advised to not take it to dispensaries. He advised taking it to like the places that sell like the Delta 8 CBD and things like that. Because, and I believe he's right here, but his instinct and his gut is telling him that if Amendment 3 would pass, so they're going to have total control over recreational marijuana. It's going to be monopolized, okay? The big boys get to play and the little folks get left out. They're thinking that what they're going to do next is go after Delta 8 and Delta 10, which is not prohibited by the feds or most state laws. So they will go after it next. So what they're going to do is leave people with no choice but to just use normal CBD or get your green card or buy everything from the dispensary, but you won't be able to go to these shops that sell the Delta 8 and buy it anymore. Okay? That's his thinking, and I believe he is probably more than likely correct on that. So that's what I ask of everyone, to please go print that flyer out if you can. If you know a local shop that sells hemp products, take it there. Asking if you can, tape it up somewhere, leave it somewhere. Talk to the people who work there about it, and educate them on why you don't want to see Amendment 3 passed. Talk to them about the licensing. Talk to them about the fact that it doesn't remove it from the drug schedule. It's still, there's going to be legal limitations on how much you can possess and things of that nature. But please, please, please educate those around you on Amendment 3. I am going to get in contact with Ron Hicks's office and see if maybe he has some time to spend with me for a short interview to talk about this bill. I know some have voiced that they would like to see the legalization of hemp included on the bill, so you wouldn't have to necessarily have, what do they call it, a industrial type farm setting to grow hemp. Because if we're going to talk about energy independence, then hemp is a good way to go, making biodiesel from hemp. So there's a lot of good things that can come out of this. But again, I would ask that everybody check out noona3.com. Check out the site, get the PDF flyer downloaded, print it out, and educate those around you. But I would also say, I know it's a long shot, and I know that the Missouri Freedom Initiative is wanting to concentrate a lot on the removal of sales tax from groceries in Missouri, and I absolutely, of course, have no issue with that. But I myself am going to make people aware that Ron Hicks has reintroduced his bill, and I would ask that they at least call his office and let them know that they support him. Maybe someone can find some co-sponsors for this. Again, it's a long shot. And but you never know. But in for right now, we have to educate those on Amendment 3. And again, there are more and more groups coming out speaking out against it now that people have taken a better look at what is being offered in this constitutional amendment. I don't have a lot more to say on that. I was sitting here in my office and I thought, well, maybe I get on and do a short video on this and, let people know what's going on. So, yeah, basically Ron Hicks is saying that because of Amendment 3, this is a type of emergency situation. So I will be calling his office, seeing if I can get in touch with him at some point and talk to him about this, maybe do a short interview or something to that effect, and talk to him more about this. Again, the removal of sales tax from groceries is very, very important, and I understand that completely. But this is one of the topics that I'm very passionate about. I have been for a long time, and until this gets done, I will continue to be. And so, I don't know what the harm is from seeing if we could get some co-sponsors for it, what have you. I'm gonna find out more from Ron Hicks about the situation, about his the response that he's gotten from reintroducing this bill from the governor or other legislators or what have you. But again, very passionate about this subject, and I would really like to see recreational legalized here in the state of Missouri the right way instead of a constitutional amendment, which is, in this instance, the wrong way. So, again, check out the chat. And hello, Ganai. How are you, sir? And check out the website. Print a PDF, print a flyer out, pass it around, show it to people. I'm going to take it to the closest shop which is about, I don't know, not even 10 minutes away. See if they'll allow me to post it somewhere or tape it up or something, and then hopefully talk to the owners maybe about it as well. See if they'll let me do it, which I've got to find their business card because it was on my desk and now I don't know where I did it with it. There's Tony Lavasco's card, which I don't need. And but yeah, I am going to try to get in contact with the owners and see if they'll allow me to post something there and talk to them. And I try to even work on doing a little advertisement for them or what have you. But I got to find the business card back. And it's just like me, always misplacing business cards. I mean, that's just one of my things that I always do. I always misplace business cards. Just because I'm dumb. But I know I've got it somewhere, and I will find it. And then I will give them a ringy-dingy and see what... Oh, look at that. I found the card. So I will call them and see... Hey, thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. I will call them and see what what their thoughts on it and about posting a flyer at the Gerald, Missouri location. I've got to talk to him about some advertising anyway. So one of the employees at the Gerald store, because they have two, one in Gerald, one in Washington, and he thought that maybe they would be interested in some advertising. So I've also got to talk to them about that. But anyway, again, I just ask that go to NOON-A3. That's NOON-A3.com and look at the PDF flyer, print it out. And Gary, I appreciate you sending your friend that link because, again, I think that Eapen's fear is justified that if this goes through, they will go after Delta 8 and Delta 10 strains of hemp I can totally see that happening. I wouldn't doubt that in the least. And that's no good for anybody who just would like to stay below the radar. And because, again, federally, Delta 8 and Delta 10 are not prohibited. There's no federal law against Delta 8 or Delta 10. And we would like to see that continue. I think we can all agree. If someone would rather use Delta 8 than Delta 9, which is affected by prohibition right now, unless medical, and then if they legalize recreational. But again, they could very well say there's only one avenue. That's not the free market talking there. And I definitely don't want to see that. I'd rather people have their choice. But again, I ask that everybody continue to educate those around them. Be aware that Ron Hicks did resubmit his bill, kind of using some emergency wording because of Amendment 3. And right now it's HB 2, House Bill 2. He resubmitted it. I don't know what day. It might have been before or the day of the special session or something. But Ethan Thampy, let me see when he posted that. He posted it on Facebook. Let me see if I can find it when Facebook decides to cooperate here. Could have looked it up on my phone, but why not use the computer, right? There was a post on it. Yeah, it looks like he did it on the 14th. So the day we were up there at the Capitol, it looks like he resubmitted his bill. And it is HB 2. And listen, I know that, again, you guys with the Missouri Freedom Initiative are working hard, along with a lot of other people, to get the sales tax removed from groceries here in the state. And I do not want to take away the stress that we have put on that. But I am so invested in getting recreational marijuana legalized that I'm going to keep talking about it a little bit. And it is not to step on anyone else's toes. It is not to, take focus off anything else. But this is an issue that's very important to me. And so I'm going to keep plugging away. Now, when I'm with Patrick in the live stream, I'm not going to bring it up because, you guys are focused on one thing. I am not going to ask the people take their eye off that prize. I'm just going to keep everyone updated. I know some people think we need to wait till the next legislative session, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But we have to keep pushing back against Amendment 3, and let's hope that maybe Ron Hicks can get some co-sponsors, and at least I think maybe if he resubmits this and people start looking at it and people start talking about it again, and it gets a little bit of media attention, this is a good way to remind everybody that there's a better way than the amendment that's going to be on the ballot in November. And we have a much more free market solution to this, and a more freedom and liberty-oriented solution to this than a constitutional amendment. So that's the way I'm looking at this. And, again, not trying to say, oh, let's give up on this thing and work on this. I'm thinking we can do, a both. I know the phone calls and emails need to continue for the removal of sales tax on groceries, okay? That's got to continue. Do not let up on that. But make others aware that this is happening with Ron Hicks as well, and continue to discuss how bad Amendment 3 is. And let's get some flyers out there. And if you look up Show Me Canna, that's C-A-N-A, or C-A-N-N-A, Freedom, on Facebook. They have a group on Facebook, and there's a lot of updates on the fight against Amendment 3 and other things. And you can look up Ethan Thampy, which is EAPENTHAMPY, on Facebook, and you can friend him on Facebook, and he updates a lot on the situation with Amendment 3 and things that they find. And groups that are fighting against it, and so on and so forth. So that's all I ask of everyone is just to keep an eye on these things, keep your ears open, keep educating, keep talking to people. And even if we can't, if Ron Hicks is unsuccessful in this special session to get his House bill through, then we absolutely have to focus our attention on defeating this ballot initiative in November and getting Amendment 3 killed. And then really, I want to focus a lot of attention next session on getting recreational marijuana and the legalization of hemp done here in the state of Missouri. So thanks to all of you who joined in with me real quick. Again, wanted just take a few minutes out. I was sitting here kind of bored, and I thought, well, I'll do a short video. And thanks to all of you guys who keep working, keep making phone calls, keep writing emails. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. As always, you're always here commenting. And, yeah, really, really, really appreciate it. So you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And right here what Gary says, Gary Wright says, we can never stop fighting, keep moving forward on all of these bills and amendments. And he is absolutely right. I just, when we kind of said that, hey, this is, not a viable option, the recreational marijuana on or legalization, it's probably, it's such a long shot. And a lot of people are focused on the sales tax on groceries, which, yes, we have to focus some energy there. We have to keep the pressure on. But I'm not quite ready to give up yet on Ron Hicks. So that's just me. And I don't expect anybody else to make phone calls and stuff on it. I'd like to see the flyers printed out to why Amendment 3 is bad and get those passed around. And Voodoo, thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm not quite ready to give up on it yet. So I'm gonna spend a little time again trying to get in contact with Ron Hicks's office and see what I can do to help him out a little bit, and we can go from there. All right? So you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a great week. And if I don't talk to any of you before then, I will see you Friday here on the Missouri Liberty Report with Daniel Miller from the Texas Nationalist Movement. And also, to let everybody know, September 30th, I did finally get a hold of Ben Brown, who is running for Senate, won his primary in my district. He will be joining me September 30th, a Liberty Revolutionary. He will be joining me September 30th. He's a big fan of SEPA, also tax cuts and that. And he's running for Senate in my district, so it was a no-brainer to have him on with me. And I finally got a number from a friend of mine, and he got Ben's permission to give it to me. And so, yeah, September 30th at 6:30, I'll have Ben Brown on with me to talk about his run for Senate and, things that he'd like to see accomplished in the state of Missouri. And then, again, the 23rd, this coming Friday, will be Daniel Miller from the Texas Nationalist Movement. So, again, thanks to all. Be sure to check out the link I put in the chat, noona3.com. Look at the flyer on Amendment 3 and all the bad things about it. Feel free to print them out. I know Epen would like to see this. Print these out. Take them to shops. Again, not necessarily the dispensaries, but those places that sell Delta 8 and things of that nature. Take it there, explain why Amendment 3 could be bad for them, because he has a gut feeling that if they would get Amendment 3 through, Delta 8 and Delta 10 could be knocked out at some point, because they're going to want to drive everybody to their market and focus the money on them. Not a free market approach at all. So thanks to all of you who watched. Thanks to all of you who commented. And let's get some things done here Let's get the sales tax removed from groceries. Let's get Amendment 3 defeated in November. And maybe, just maybe, we can help out Ron Hicks. So I will, as soon as I get done here, I'm going to call, leave a message with his office, and see if I can get back in touch with him or if he'll get in touch with me and have a conversation about his bill and, again, the responses that he's got from the legislators, the governor, and anybody else up there in Jefferson City. And let's see how things go with this. So, again, have a great Sunday, everybody.